Hello. All right, so I have a nutrition lesson for you guys. Me and Brayden love peanut butter. You do like peanut butter. Anyway, so, groceries are expensive. And so I was trying to find a good product that didn't have a lot of extra things. And typically in peanut butter, that things that I try to avoid are going to be hydrogenated oil and sugar. Now, a lot of times if you read the labels on peanut butter, it's going to have hydrogenated oil. It might be, and you'll see that in the ingredients. It's not going to be listed like on the nutrition label, but you'll see it on the ingredients list. So a lot of times when I'm buying peanut butter, I'm paying like $6-7 for peanut butter. So I was like, okay, let me figure out what other options there are. And Kroger's, something I like about Kroger's, they do have like a rating system. So when you're shopping online, if I click on a peanut butter, it'll rate it like, I think it's like 1 to 100, I don't know. But if I click on something and it'll have like a nutrition rating based on their thing, on their scale, like 50. But then below that, it'll give you other options. So it'll say, but these other products have a higher nutrition rating. And I don't know anything about their nutrition rating and how they rate it. But anyway, it does give you some information that you can use to help you make choices. So I was looking at other options, and this one had a higher nutrition rating than the one I was planning to get. And it's a Kroger brand. I was like, cool. And it was $2. I'm like, great. So then I was like, okay, well, let me look at the ingredients and see if it contains any of the things I try to avoid. And it was just, okay, roasted peanuts and salt. I'm like, great. So I was talking to my mom and I was like, oh, I found this $2 peanut butter and I'm like winning. And she said, oh, so I told her, I said, yeah, it's just roasted peanuts and salt, which is common. A lot of times, it's an ingredient that's in peanut butter. She's like, well, how much salt? I was like, ooh, I didn't check that part. So then I'm looking at the nutrition label this time. So I'm like, okay, number of calories per serving. Typically a serving is 2 tablespoons of peanut butter or 32 grams per serving. So this is per 2 tablespoons, 180 calories. For a serving of peanut butter or 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. That's normal. I'm like, all right. So the calories, the fat, the protein, carbs, like basically across the board for all peanut butters, that should be basically the same. Unless under carbs, they're adding sugar. So that's where you'll see under total sugars, it'll say, whatever the grams are, 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram, 4 gram, 10 grams, 20 grams, whatever, right? That means they're adding, I take that back. Total sugars can be sugar that's naturally already found in the food. So there's already naturally 1 gram of sugar in food, in the peanut, right? And then there's added sugar. So added sugar is like literally the added sugar, wherever it's coming from. It could be coming from cane syrup, actual sugar, brown sugar. There's a bunch of different sugars that it could come from. So 0 added sugars. So I'm looking at all of that. And then I look at sodium. 130 milligrams of sodium. Now, the typical recommendation is for sodium. I may have to double check this. I haven't checked this in a while. I want to say 1,200 milligrams, but I need to double check that. I don't remember off the top of my head. So I said, oh, it's 130 milligrams. She's like, that feels kind of high. And I'm like, well, I've never looked at the nutrition facts on a jar of peanut butter before, so I don't know what is normal. So I started looking online at other options of peanut butters on the Kroger app and for some basic jars of peanut butter, like Jiffy or whatever, it's like 80 milligrams, 70 milligrams, 60 milligrams. Some peanut butters had as little as 50 milligrams of added salt. And this product right here had 130. So that's almost triple the amount of sodium that is typically in a jar of peanut butter. They added a bunch more salt to this to make it taste good, most likely. Also, so anyway, whenever you're looking at, and they're marketing it as just 2 ingredients. That's what got me, just 2 ingredients. And I'm just now seeing this, but they're using that as a marketing tactic. And it's a Kroger brand, so you know it's affordable, but it's really, really high in salt. So anyway, when you're making food choices, especially on a processed or a packaged food like this, and it's saying natural peanut butter, this is all marketing. So they're making you think that, oh, this is a healthy option. I get got all the time. So anyway, just read your labels. Don't just go by what's on the front. Turn it around. Look at the nutrition facts. That's this area. And then down here, smaller. Yeah. Down here, you'll see ingredients. So read that. And then from there, make your best, most informed choice.
So yesterday, Angie sent me to the store, as she usually does, to buy a jar of peanut butter because the one that we received in our original order had an enormous amount of sodium in it, apparently. So I'm not really into all that, but I did go back to the store with the direct order to buy a specific organic peanut butter called Santa Cruz or something like that. So I go up there and I look for the Santa Cruz. The store been rearranged, y'all, so it's somewhere else. I couldn't even find the peanut butter at first. But eventually I found the peanut butter section. I find that they didn't have the Santa Cruz. They didn't have what I was sent. And you know, when Angie sent me to the store, I tried to get specifically what she asked for. But this time I didn't because I wanted to challenge myself. So I ended up looking at labels. I had the app. So I went into the app. I had the nutrition facts label. I started seeing like, okay, I know she was tripping over the sodium. Let me see which one has a lower sodium. I looked at all the organics and all the natural ones that were there and realized that they were all dramatically different when I read the nutrition facts label. So much so that some of them had more sodium than what she originally asked for. Some of them had a little bit less, maybe half, and then this one had 0 sodium. Some of them added more sugar. A lot of them had palm oil in it or something else different in it. Some of them had all the monosaturated fats versus this one only talks about trans and saturated. I don't know what's good or bad. I know she hates trans, so that's what I was focused on, getting 0 of.
Monounsaturated fat is a healthier fat, by the way. It's naturally. But I don't know why would they add it when it's already in peanuts. Anyway, carry on.
I don't know. It was in one of those. I don't know, because I looked at like...
It depends on the label and what they're
adding.
Jiffy
Natural. I looked at Manathera, something organic. Anyway, all these different ones. But this is the one that was the closest, where it had the fat content, the sodium, and the ingredient says peanuts. It says contains peanuts. So I was like, well, that's a pretty safe bet. The rest of them had at least peanuts, sea salt. Some of them had peanuts, salt, oil. And some of them even had, I think they had added sugar. I don't know why. But, I was looking at like, they had some like natural honey peanut butters. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, a lot of peanut butters have added sugar. Go ahead.
But it was just amazing to me how different all of them were labeled as natural or organic. And you would think that they just have the essential ingredients to make peanut butter. But the way that they make them taste good through all the salts and all the additions is what gets you in the end. So ended up getting this. I did get an award. She was proud of me. And so that's why I've been asked to do this video. Hope this helps. And that's my story. And I'm out.